Hello patrons, this is Megan and I am back today with a new layout for you. So this is the one that I made for a Secret Not Secret Kick Club Scrap Party Challenge. Sorry, that was a mouthful. And for this one, I was doing a challenge that Christy, who is Christy's Beautiful Life, I'm sure you all know her, that she came up with, where you're supposed to use one photo, only 3 patterned papers, and 5 embellishments. And she said we can interpret the challenge any way we want, but those are the parameters that we had to follow. So you can see here I have one photo that I picked out and 3 pattern papers. I felt like behind the mat, this very small mat on the photo, it was a black mat. It needed another color. And so what I decided to do, as you can see here, is I cut out behind where I'm going to be putting the bigger layer behind my photo, and I decided that I was going to mat that behind the first photo mat, if any of that made any sense. So now here I'm going to glue the mat behind the photo on top of that hole, and then I will glue the photo onto there. I did realize, oh crap, I, didn't have enough room to actually glue this piece of paper down because of that big hole, and I totally forgot that I couldn't put glue in the middle. So yeah, here I decided just to cover up the back with some washi tape. I thought it would be kind of fun to mat the smaller photo mat on some fun foam. So I am just gluing some fun foam down. Okay, now here I'm going to start bringing out my embellishments. So the first embellishment I'm going to use in each of my clusters is puffy stickers. So what I decided to do was to use 5 different types of embellishments on this layout. And I am going to do them in 3 different places, actually 4 different places on the layout. So I put down these 2 puffy stickers on the bottom corners of the photos. Then I'm going to do wood buttons as my second embellishment. Then I'm going to do sequins as my third. And I dumped out a ton of those sequins. I'm not going to use that many. And then here I am going to add a couple of banners in 2 different areas. I knew that this layout was actually going to have a pocket page to the right of it. And so I don't really need to do any journaling on this layout. So this layout can just be all about this one photo, and then I'm going to have a companion pocket page that can have all of the journaling, and I have 3 or 4 more photos that go along with this one. But for this challenge, she only wanted us to use one photo. So this is the one that I decided to use. So here I'm cutting out my banners. And I'm going to put one up there at the top, and then I'm going to put 3 down in the bottom right-hand corner. At first, I was just thinking I was going to kind of stagger just a couple of them, but then I put these 3 down, and I was like, oh, I actually really like that. So I'm going to glue those to each other. Like, I'm going to kind of fuss around with them until I find exactly where I like the positioning. I tried having it more to the right, more to the left, and I ended up liking the 2 smaller ones more to the left. Okay, now I'm going to glue that little banner cluster down, and then I'm going to start, let's see, what do I do next? I actually forget what I do next. I'm thinking, you can see I'm tapping my fingers. I'm FaceTiming with Hannah, and this layout actually only took me 40 minutes, which is kind of amazing that I can talk with my friend and scrapbook at the same time, and this layout only took me 40 minutes. I was kind of impressed with myself. So here I'm going to put some sequins down on these banners. And then I'm going to bring in, I think chipboard is the next embellishment that I add from my stash. And I did try to keep a Christmassy theme because these photos are from Christmas Day 2 years ago. This was 2017. My sisters, my mom, and I all decided that we were going to do like a three-way FaceTime call. I didn't even know that you could do that, but my sister was like, yeah, let's try it. And so we did, and it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know we could do this. So I don't know if you can see, but my face is up in the top right-hand corner, and I think Jonas is in that photo with me. It's like one of those inlay photos. And then that's my nephew to the left, and then my other nephew to the right. So here I'm just going through some chipboard, trying to pick out which ones I want to use. Excuse me. I'm going to go with the word hey in that middle cluster to the right bottom of the photo. Then I'm going to use that arrow in that top cluster, and then in the bottom cluster on top of the black banners, I'm going to use a little heart. And then for my fifth embellishment, I'm just going to have thickers for my title, and I'm going to include that as my fifth embellishment. I did consider doing some stitching around the layout, but my desk is a mess right now, and I really didn't want to have to clean it off to do some stitching. So my sewing machine is kind of hidden right now. I'm just gluing down the sequins and the chipboard and cleaning up the sequins and putting away the ones I'm not going to use. And then I will pull out my, I'm going to go through a couple different alphas. And in the end, I really, really love the one that Okay, so now here I am going to put down my title on some wax sheets. And I was thinking at first that I was going to have the word family up top and then FaceTime underneath it, but I couldn't figure out how I wanted to place it. I didn't really like it. So I'm going to decide to move it down here underneath the photo, and I like that so much better. It looks really good like that. So here I'm just playing with the placement of it, and then I'm going to start putting it down. And then I'm going to use my Tombow Aqua Glue to make sure that it stays down, because we all know that chipboard thickers do not like to stay put. So that is the end of my layout. Thank you so much for watching and for being a patron. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.